It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Fine, thank you.
It's Thursday, close to the weekend.
Yes.
How you doing, Mariam? Any plans?
I'm doing fine. And
You're doing fantastic yesterday. I hope it's continuing today.
Yes. And, well, my last day on the show this week, so I would use Friday to get more sleep. But I just wanted to point out this I hate to call it, but almost a trend of suicides happening. I mean, in the last week, almost 7 young people who, just looking at them, you think they're doing well. They're either students or children of wealthy parents, pastors, and it's so scary. And I'm wondering, what are we doing wrong? What do we need to do better? Young people, can you please talk to us? Let's understand what is going wrong or going through your minds.
And that's why it's important that I say, when we talk about parenting, people just think people are just being too much grammar. But you need to learn. You can't give what you don't have. And there are lots of people studying how people like Obiajulu, Tokwe, a whole bunch of people that are learning, taking courses to understand this issue of mental, emotional intelligence, mental health of people. So get information, learn, be exposed and open to listen to new things, new way of doing things.
We can't afford to have parents that are not present anymore. Because most of these kids actually were mentioning it over and over again on social media that they were considering suicidal thoughts. So my mindset was that if they've been writing this for the past few months on Facebook, is it that nobody, knowing their parents, could intervene one way or the other? Because they were crying out.
To be fair, a few of them, there were interventions, really. People even knew about it and they tried to help. But
I know Praise Forever is having something, an event, I think it's today.
It was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yes, you guys
thought it was today.
Oh, sorry. Yesterday, I went for a full body checkup. I've been I've written it in my goals for the past 3 years, every year. So on Saturday, when I checked again, I'm like, you said you did on your birthday, just do this, and I went to have the check done, they just remove your clothes, pull up. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm almost naked all through today, but I feel really good that I was able to do that. I already have a few feedbacks. So I've always had glasses, Mariah, but I've never used them. And so it's getting worse. So I have to start using glasses right now.
She did a full body checkup. I need that too.
Yeah.
Maybe you tell me where was it in General Hospital?
No. It was a private diagnostic center. Okay. So I did ECG, my blood work, ECG, stress test. So I was running and they were checking my...
Oh, that's good.
They were checking my heart rate as I was running to know my heart is responding well. So I did pap smear, I did high vaginal swab, I did eye check, dental check.
I think I need that.
Yeah, so it was like a full,
right.
It was very comprehensive.
The package you were showing us yesterday, or Nima's package?
No, the one I showed you.
The same place where we went to the other time. Remember the lady?
No. It was somewhere else. So I'm in Jebu, so I did comparison across board to be sure that I was getting the best value.
So I guess I'll be doing this.
I'll be going there. Even my husband must go, my dad must go, my mom, everybody must.
Good. How are you doing, madam?
I'm doing amazing. I'm still feeling
interesting gist aside from your school work.
I don't think I have any interest in gist, but I just noticed that a lot of parents, there's this emotional disconnect between the parents and the children, and that's one of the reasons these kids bottle up so much inside. In fact, their parents don't even know them. They don't open up to their parents because there's this missing link, and I think every parent should try to be in that space. I know we're all looking for money,
help.
but then be in that,
seek professional. It doesn't belittle you to go and meet a consultant with your child to say, I don't know what's going on with my child. Can you help us unravel this? Seek professional help.
People need you need to, because I mean, you can't be embarrassed about that. It's your children. And the kids are killing themselves every single day.
Parents are embarrassed to talk about some issues concerning their children because you're afraid
because you regret it in future. Just take out the time to do it. Anyways, nothing happening in my own end of the stake. It's just that I'm just trying to sleep more now and rest. But today I had plans to actually get some nails done, just get some body check. I want to try to. Yeah, I'm going to try to do it today. We'll see how that
goes. See you on Monday.
I'll try to fix. I'll try. That's why I said let us wait for like a few months. Let's see if I can sustain it. But I definitely need to go to that full body checkup. Because I know how I have eye issues. I can't read. I find it so difficult to read.
They checked everywhere. I was supposed to do mammogram, but they said I'm not old enough to do mammogram, so they did like a sonogram and they checked. Look, it was comprehensive. I even have kidney stone and all of that. So like, and I didn't know, you know. So they just do like a check. Yes, I didn't know, and because I'm not feeling pain yet. So
fantastic, well done.
Scary.
Okay, it's Thursday. Let's go on a break. It's Gistin Day. I know that we might have to link up at some point to a live broadcast going on very soon, but we'll let you know when that happens. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yes, thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with Vanguard today. Population explosion of tough times ahead for Nigeria, says CBN governor. And there's a chart here that gives the 7 most populous countries in the world and their GDP. Nigeria is projected to be 208.6 million people, and our GDP is $115.1 billion. China, let me just give you Chinese, 1.3 billion people with $14.1 trillion GDP. Okay, Atiku PDP plotting to overthrow Buhari's government, says federal government. 2019 UTME, over 1.3 million candidates have accessed their results, says JAM. FEC approves $1 billion Exim Bank loan for Gurara hydropower, says Nigeria saves $21 billion on imports. June 12, activist orders Lord Buhari to honor Abiola as president-elect. They're asking for more. And court stops implementation of Kano's new Emirates law. Okay, let's start with the Kano State.
Okay, so we've been following the story, and the court is saying that it had given an injunction to the state to stop anything that has to do with appointment or installation of those emirs until the suit that has been brought against it is heard. But the defendant...
Kano State government is saying that they've already done it.
Yes, but they've done everything before the order got to them on Monday. So that was why the rush...
They rushed it now. They've all given them the staff of office already.
Yeah, so there's nothing that can be done.
But the court's saying that they can do they go back to status quo, and hopefully they will now try to start seeing if they can actually unravel why it was done in the first place.
Right from the federal level, we've had consistent cases of court ruling being ignored consistently. So if you see it on a state level, you shouldn't be extremely surprised, because we already have that level of the court will say disrespect for the court, and the court shouldn't be disrespected in such a way on a consistent basis.
That's actually not being disrespected, because they've agreed that June 21, when the case will be brought to court, and it's still going to be taken to court, but they're just letting the courts know that we've already done what you're saying, what you're trying to stop us from doing. But however,
it can still be reversed anyway.
I've been looking at these new emirs with shady eyes. I'm like, who would you accept this sort of thing like this?
This came with their regalia, and they were ready to.
The CBN governor.
Please.
Okay, go ahead, because all over the papers anyway. I was going to take it also.
He appeared before the Senate for screening to serve another 5 years, and he was saying that tough times await us in Nigeria because there's a population explosion which is coming up very soon. Before 2025, we would have reached 425 million increase in population, making us the 3rd largest in the world. And if we don't curb this population issue, it's going to impact our economy in the worst way possible.
Did somebody not just mentioned about 2 weeks ago, either a governor or somebody said that we're going to be having tough times, you know, we should brace up. And CBN governor said, who told you?
So
you don't authorize. So who is fooling who?
So they're part of the story. He's saying, right, that, see, Nigeria, we know how to we have policies, sound policies, but the problem is our mindset. Or we have Nigerians, as we were talking, you just do not follow the policies. You find ways to circumvent it, and then that is what is putting us in trouble. But if people are able to just do as they are being told to do, follow the policies to the letter, then we will not be in the problems that we're in. And they're saying that this time there will be firmer on Nigerians who do that and be punished.
All right, I was actually going to take the story on the UTME here.
We have.
Because our daring brother, Mr. Fabian, speaking again, says that, that all the rumors going around, that people did not get their results, that 1.3 people that sat for the exam have gotten their results. And the 15 naira that were charged, because we were commenting that the jam just trying to 15 naira, it didn't come to them, it came to the providers, that's the telecoms company that actually provided the service. So they're the ones that get the 15 naira, not jam. That's everybody has gotten their results. So that's pretty much what the story was saying.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on to The Nation. Emefiele policy saboteurs will no longer be spared. I think Mariam mentioned that already. Lawan, battle for Senate President, not a do or die affair. Fregena's wife, don't let my husband die. Acting CGN to judges. Prosperity will judge us. Government PDP row over threats to democracy. And Ilorin youths reject cigarettes factory. Okay, Fregena's wife, that was a former, I think it was a footballer or goalie that, no, I think it was a goalkeeper actually.
Yeah.
And he had been suffering stroke for I think 18 years.
Yeah.
And his wife said that Lagos State government at the time, Governor Fashola had helped. I think it's Ondo State Governor that also helped them at some point, but right now she needs the federal government to help them because he's totally bedridden and he needs help and he needs financial. She didn't really specify how much they needed, but they need help. And it's really unfortunate that stars, people who have served the nation, would have to go through this. I know you as a citizen, as a young person, you wouldn't want to do anything for your country. Like, why would I even want to get into armed forces? You don't want to get into any service because you feel that they will abandon you.
Yeah, that's really
this is something that the federal government should take up.
Beyond federal government, there are many well-meaning Nigerians that could afford to take care of him, and so it really isn't necessarily something government alone can do. People, everybody that can should step up and help.
Shouldn't there be some kind of
welfare
system?
For them, yeah.
A welfare system for these kinds of people. I mean.
As well, our country, CJN, was in Imo State to inaugurate the multi-complex that was built by the Imo State government. Okay. And they're saying thank you to the governor. He did well. That they do not think that there's any other state that has such a complex where judges will come. Yes, in Imo State, where they will sit down and do their jobs well. And during that time, he also said, that's the CGN, was saying that, please, let's remember, judges, that posterity will judge us. So when we write down judgments, it should not be for monetary benefits, but for the fact that in future, people will judge us. It's nice saying these things, but will they do it? It's a different ballgame. Moving on to Daily Sun. Alleged instability plot. Federal government article PDP in verbal war. May 30th. Disregard IPOB's sit-at-home order, says police. New Kano Emirates court orders return to status quo. EFCC quizzes National Assembly clerk and summons others. CBN governor gives notice of tough, rough economy. And local government funds. Again, NFIU wants banks and governors. Okay, which story? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Anambra State Police is calling members of the public in Anambra State not to listen to IPOB, because they have said that there should be a sit-at-home May 29th. Nobody should come out and do their business. So the Anambra State Police is telling them that they have made sure that security is in place to ensure that people can go about their businesses. They shouldn't listen to IPOB. They are still proscribed and their activities are illegal. So if you have businesses to do and that, they go about it. Anybody who's caught, trying to fight the statements by the police will get into trouble. This
NFIU, we need to really talk about this local government funds issue. Yes. Because they're insisting that don't touch local government funds. And some states are saying, listen, we've functioned properly, seamlessly. When the money comes to us, federal government have no business with local government funds. And we've done very well because we understand that our own terrain, the money comes to us and we're able to disburse it appropriately. So we need a proper conversation. So we have to invite somebody over to get somebody from the NFIU and somebody from maybe any of the state governments to let us see what the difference is and how it's going to work out.
So far, we're just hearing press release. It's not as if we can call on a governor now or the chairman of the governors forum that will come and speak on behalf of governors that are against this on why they are doing this. It would be nice to have conversations with people that are in power on why they are doing what they are doing. Just simply explain to Nigerians what is going on, what structure has worked, and then break it down. But they don't talk. Please,
let's move on to the punch.
I've been waiting.
MAN-LCCI react as CBN governor says road ahead still rough. Tribunal article to file application for Bokachua's removal from panel today. Human interest stories. I won't share Edo money to greedy people, says Obaseki. Illegal arms possession court jails ex-convicts 120 years. And how Lagos hotelier's son and friend drugged and gang raped me, says victim. The poor now revolting against the rich, says senators. Yes.
So, take the human interest. I want to take the Edo State governor. So, Edo State governor was speaking at an event to when the graduating teachers, they call them Edo Stars. It is about 27-day training for Edo State teachers taken in batches to introduce them into digital teaching. It's a upgraded kind of learning. And he was addressing some of the news reports that has been going on Ondo State, that these people are trying to blackmail him and that he's not going to spend any money given to Ondo State on bribing people. His focus on every fund. He said, I will never give our money to people. Every money that we have, we don't have much money, but whatever we have, no matter how little, we will use to prioritize education and healthcare. So that was just the address on how concerning training. He also mentioned during the statement that when they are done with public schools, during this training for all public school teachers, they would also involve private school teachers so that no student within Edo State to be left behind when it comes to digital learning.
I think that's
it's one thing
fantastic.
to teach them digital, it's another thing to actually provide the equipment for them to use it.
Yes,
so don't lose learning.
but that is a step in the right direction, because I was already planning to do a training in that direction. Because I noticed some schools in my area where there's no specialization, especially in primary schools. And one teacher who is not even equipped takes all of the subjects. And you're wondering, somebody who doesn't speak English very well will be teaching English language, you know. And then we have, they are still being taught the way we were taught, without equipment, without, like there's, the world has, exactly, the world has moved up right now. So this is a very good,
I'm happy,
laudable.
because I know that there was time we trained people to be editors. They learned it, but there was no system to edit. So after a while, you lose the learning. That's the point. So one thing to teach them digital, another thing to actually provide. Anyway, let's talk about this hotelier's son. Who read that story?
Yes, I did. So we've looked at this story before, and it was a lady that had reported being raped. And the story was in the news before that those the perpetrators were let go. But now, obviously, they're in court, and she was able to tell her story of how she went out with her friend, a very good friend, to the club.
Right.
And after they had left the club at 4 a.m., she was on her way out, and she saw another friend who was intoxicated and helped him back to the room that her other friend that she went out with was. And she said she had only one drink, and next thing, during the night, she found, you know, she noticed she was being raped.
Yeah.
And when she woke up, she knew something had happened. She looked at her friend. She says, what happened? She says, oh, nothing happened. She was able to tell a couple of her friends, and they took it to court.
Because she could feel one of them had dreadlocks. She could feel that one's dreads on her skin. The other one, she could hear their voices. So she was drowsy. She was conscious, but she wasn't obviously drunk.
Story that they videoed, they made
yes,
a video.
They also made a video
of
this one.
But you know, the thing is, when we talk about rape, a lot of people say, oh, watch the way you dress, or watch the way you go. And when we talk about it and say, don't blame the victim. These are friends, you know.
Yeah.
People take advantage. So we need to teach our boys that raping is not cool, because some people think that
when you go out, don't leave your drinks, or just get your drinks yourself or something. Don't say, oh, yes,
tell us these things, but like, you know, you're with your friend. This is your very good friend.
Yes,
you know, so when we become paranoid
around your
friend, of your very good friend, so you really should be able to trust.
One more story for you,
The senators are saying, you know, Senator Chukwuka Utazi, his PDP Enugu North, was speaking up concerning the disparity between the rich and the poor. And he's saying that this is causing a revolt already. The president should step up and fix this gap between the rich and the poor. And I feel like it is a Senate's duty. However, they suggested some things that they added to their prayers that they were going to do. One was to adopt a policy to do annual recruitment, 100,000 staff the government should recruit 100,000 people every year, but they said they wouldn't do that. What they would do is to ensure every local government, that's the 744 local government we have, each local government must have a factory, and this factory must be functional and employing people within the states. I think this is a very good idea by Senator. And
Which senator is this?
Senator Chukwuka Utazi, and he's representing PDP. So if we can have every local government, it is a simple, basic idea that if implemented would really reduce unemployment within the country. And it's a fantastic one. Can they just implement this?
But doesn't Imo State have that? I think they're working on something like
factory.
factory.
The government should have every local government own a factory.
It's good. Hey, we need ideas anyway. So let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. I think we're taking all the stories. Who read Ajimobi's story? My government spent over 45 billion on tertiary institutions.
No,
I wish I read that, because I don't know.
Because we had issues.
45 billion naira.
You know,
really?
We had issues with Lautech, being that they were off school for a long time.
Governor Ajimobi spent that much on tertiary institutions for 5 billion, not million. Wow, I need to go to where
we need to see it.
Yeah, we need to see it. All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, it's Thursday. We're gisting all the way. We're supposed to have Sir Shina Peters. I don't know if he's here yet, but he's going to be joining the conversation. But first, This debate on marijuana, what is going on? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So the Ondo State Governor, Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu, who recently traveled to Thailand, expressed the need for the federal government to encourage the cultivation of medicinal cannabis, also known as Indian hemp. According to him, the state could diversify its economy by tapping into the marijuana market. What do you think about this? The debate has gone online, everybody's talking about it, and there are different views on this. Let's hear your views. You can join the conversation 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC, and please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. I often tell people that I had an accident, in the US, and I lost about 6 inches of my right thigh. It was totally crushed, and it took about 8 months of therapy. I mean, I was on a wheelchair, and the pain was crazy. And I remember my doctor in the US said, listen, you have a few options. Option A, obviously, is this, to give you the medical marijuana. Give you some, number 2, option 2 is give you some serious painkillers. Option 3 is give you nothing at all. Now, option A and 2 are great. They'll kill the pain, but it becomes addictive, and then you can have future issues going forward. Option 3, I won't give you anything. You will go through the pain, but eventually you get used to it. And I took option 3. So I never took anything for my pain. I would go through days and weeks of pain, and it was painful. So people are saying that we should encourage the sale of this drug, because of this herb, actually, because it helps patients, especially those cancer patients, to relieve the pain and all that. So, in your view, let's discuss it, because I mean the debate's also going to be on, because Governor of Ondo has gone to Thailand now. He's coming back with this whole campaign, and everybody's going talking about it. But look at it from where he's coming from. The opportunities. We're looking for dollar, right? We're looking for money.
Yes,
so maybe it's an opportunity. Let me hear your thoughts, Mariam.
Yeah. So for me, face value, it looks good. It looks good, one, because this is a governor that is looking for creative ways to build his IGR, and we talk about that all the time. So kudos to the governor for thinking that way. Secondly, financial analysts are talking about this business that, they're predicting boom and a lot of money in this industry. So I think it just makes sense to want to be part of that industry and make money. But I have my fears, and my fears is because we're in Nigeria and we're Nigerians. And there's something that happens with us when we bring a good idea to our country. There's the Nigerian thing. And my fears are, one, we're struggling right now. We're fighting importation of banned drugs. So our customs every time is, stopping tons and tons of tramadol and codeine. This is in spite of the ban that has been put in place. We have this SON that really, some people say they don't feel their impact. We have NAFDAC fighting fake drugs. And then we have this new drug that we're talking about that needs to be well regulated. Right. And we already have issues with our regulatory bodies. I'm not sure we can do this right now.
Okay, so for me, I was trying to find out if Governor Akeredolu released the blueprint of how he wanted to...
It's not a blueprint. Nigeria just traveled to Thailand for a conference. Like, you can't do a blueprint.
Like, if you were, we always say that you don't communicate. So people would now start, when you don't give us enough information, we would assume and fill in the gap. Right. So if it is for the goal of let us export, because whether we like it or not, the industry for cannabis and marijuana is huge. It is legal in many Western developed countries, and they cannot meet the demand. So we can decide that, okay, we have this contract with a country and they were supplying them, we're producing here and shipping it over there. If we have an idea of what he wants to achieve, it will help us to properly judge. But let's just assume that he's planning to push a law for it to be legal in Nigeria, and then he's planning to now meet the need if it becomes legal in Nigeria. Then we can now say it is wrong or it is right. But if it is for the aim of generating funds for his state, if it's for the aim of let us have something to export out of Nigeria and create a market for it, then it's a fantastic
I think, as I said,
idea.
we're looking for ideas.
Because in Thailand,
everybody who has asked us to diversify, look for other options. So this is a man who has traveled now, hanging the top way. He has traveled and he's saying, listen, we have this product in this country. We can actually export it. So, but because it's illegal, So it's a conversation we must have. And it's not about his own personal state. It's about what do we need to get.
Thailand is already exporting it and making a whole lot of money from it. That is the reason Thailand is the hub of this transaction. And they have successfully done it well. So if it is an idea that we want to replicate Thailand in Nigeria, then I think it makes sense.
So. Yeah. Okay, let me come
to
you.
There's, in April, this year, Uganda became the first African country to sign a deal worth $160 million to export cannabis to Canada and Germany. Now, we have been talking about a lot of states becoming insolvent if care is not taken, because they do not have, they are not generating enough revenue to sustain themselves. And in Ondo State, this thing is being planted. There is a plantation. They have it in abundance. So I am looking at it from the business angle, which is, if we actually get into this, because what he said from the Thailand trip and everything is that they are trying to find ways to groom it for medical purposes. There's a difference between medical and recreational purposes. And we really do not need legalization to be able to export it right now, because there is no law, there's no Nigerian law that I know that makes it illegal.
It is. That's why they're talking about NDLEA. They destroy those farms. Ondo State, NDLEA goes to Ondo State they set those farms on fire.
There is no section of the law that I know that makes it illegal.
To export.
Yes. So if we look at that angle, that makes a lot of sense. And let's also think about...
I have a call from Abuja. Hang in there. All right. Morning, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, my take is this on this marijuana issue. Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. My take on marijuana issue is this. We're rushing into it, the same thing that happens with the oil boom. Either we like it or not, people are taking marijuana. And we have clusters of farms. And this drives the price because it is illegal. It is just a normal thing in economics. Now, this is an opportunity to call those farmers together for registration and proper management. But again, there is something we're missing. We're rushing to export, which is wrong. The moment you export from the farm gate, you export job. You export a lot of things. It would have been better if these things, this marijuana, is processed. We know what they need them for over there. Must we export the raw marijuana? Why not let us manufacture whatever those medicinal or cosmetic products that are needed from it, and these things are exported?
Thank you very much, Samuel. That's a fantastic point. Because we just like we export crude oil. Like when we found crude oil, the easiest thing was just to export it and get it processed. But it would be a good idea for us to use a blueprint, as you said. Let's find a way to process it. But I think I want us to go into the conversation of the side effects of this
drug itself.
Yes, we see the potential, but young people are already using it. The fact that the overuse of this causes dizziness, hallucination, insanity, even can injure themselves. So all these are side effects of marijuana.
Side effects are not for the medicinal ones. So they have been they found a way to process.
No, there are two different. There's the synthetic one, and even the original one. Overuse of it can cause have the same effects.
So I know it is harmful, and we should, and no government can, no Nigerian governor or Nigerian person can tell me that they trust the government to say that they will regulate this thing properly. We don't believe in the system has failed consistently. However, if Governor Akeredolu is looking for potentials to make money within a state, he could actually process. They have many mineral resources within that state. They have bitumen. He mentioned something. He said 90% of Ondo resources are untapped in 2017. So they have many resources, and I think that going through cannabis is just like
it shouldn't be an option.
I think that it should be the list of options because they have other opportunities.
I disagree with you.
There are other opportunities. Cocoa was the major money production, money earner.
That was then, but now a lot of people produce cocoa
because they did not invest in it and they did not cultivate. They didn't grow that industry.
I disagree with you because that's how we sit here. they will produce it outside the country, and then they'll start selling it back to us. We have the resources now. I think we should tap into this. It's a good industry. It's going to provide a lot of jobs for young people. Now, on the issue of
good industry,
the what's it called? The side effects. The side effect is, I noticed there's something about taboo, something that's forbidden, that attracts young people. And they did some studies in several countries, like Colorado, and there's this other country in the US. And they found out that when they legalized this marijuana, it dropped. The abuse rate dropped because it held no appeal for young people to hide and do it. For young people to hide and do it. It's just like the way we have cigarettes all over. People who want to smoke will smoke. People who don't want to smoke will smoke. Even with the warnings. Even with the warnings that are seen. So if we find a way to legalize it, it will reduce that appeal. Really.
That's one side of the. That's one side of.
It is arguable, actually.
Yes, because a lot of people, a lot of studies show that when you make something that's supposed to be illegal, legal, or that was once illegal, legal. For a lot of people, once something is illegal, they would not touch it. They don't touch it. But once you now make it legal, even though in this particular case, this drug has side effects from continuous use and over time, what will happen is that people say, well, it's not illegal, I'm not doing anything wrong, so they try it. I feel that right now we're going through a stage where our young people are going through depression. They're finding it difficult to handle life and life's issues. I do not think that adding drugs to it is the next way to go, please. We should really be careful. It is a drug.
It is actually a drug. It is. Just this morning I was saying that the sachet alcohol in sachets should be banned.
I agree.
And that is one place we can start dealing with the issue. But we have a case where our country just lets things go. And we can actually curb this before it goes haywire. So if we are going to cultivate it for export, good. Maybe even if it is refined to export, but not for internal consumption, we would abuse it.
It's a thin line. How do you do it? Let me take Kingsley. Are you there?
If they're looking for money, they're better.
Kingsley. Kingsley, are you there? You're live, please. I think we lost that call. All right. So the conversation continues on this issue of cannabis, the herb, marijuana, obviously, and people feel that it's going to be dangerous for young people to have access to this drug. And it's something we don't even know how to... It's hard. Just like you said, we have system issues. So how do we ensure...
They banned tramadol, they banned codeine, and people are still abusing and overdosing on it. When we had it, they abused it. They banned it, they're abusing it.
May I quickly add that whether you legalize it or not, it's available. People are taking it. People who need it are taking it. There's no way you just whisper to a young boy and they don't bring it for you. It's there. So the thing is, we're not sorting the problem of drug abuse. It's not by banning the drugs that will make drugs stop, because there are other ways that you can get high without using those products. So that's not the issue.
So we have to go on a break. That debate continues. As I said, it's just starting. So is the governor back from All right. When we come back, hopefully our guest joins us on this hot gist we have. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. This gist, now serious gist too. A man, listen carefully, a man allegedly abandons his family for many years. Many years. His wife then remarried another man, who raised all the children. He housed them, sent them to school abroad, took good care of this woman's children. One of the daughters is now about to get married. She reconciled with her father that abandoned them for many years. Reconciled with her father a few months to her wedding. She now wants her father, her biological father, to walk her down the aisle. Her mother insists that it has to be her stepfather, who has been taking care of them since she was about 2 years old. Either she lets her stepfather walk her down the aisle, or she, the mother, would not even attend the wedding at all. Go and dash a wedding. Go and do your wedding by yourself. What should she do? With us is a veteran juju musician who stole all our hearts while most of us were growing up. And he still remains very, very relevant today. Welcome with us, Mr. Oluwashina Akanbi Peters, probably known as Sir Shina Peters. Welcome in the building.
Thank you. Thank you.
I sang for you, but we still love you.
Thank you.
So you can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So I won't throw it to you, but I'll let everybody, let's hear your thoughts. So a lot of people are saying that in that kind of situation, a young girl, it's her wedding, and she wants her biological father to walk her down the aisle. But the mother said, how can you be saying biological father? This man took us from nothing. There were 3 or 4 of you children. He married me with you and your siblings, took care of you, paid for your school fees, abroad, everywhere. He's the one that deserves to walk you down the aisle. What say you?
What say me is I'm on the mother's side on this.
Okay.
I understand her hurt, I understand her anger, and I also see it as a betrayal. Because there's something about this wedding, walking down the aisle, it's something to honor the father for what he's done throughout your life. So to now take it away from the person who has given you the most training, who has made the most sacrifice for you, that can be hurtful. But I also understand the side of the young girl. And this happens, I've seen this happen even personally around me. Young people have this idealistic notion of what their wedding should be like. So white cake, dark groom, fair bride, father walk me down the aisle. So for her, it may not necessarily be that I love this man over the one who has made the sacrifices. It's just, you know, it looks good. You know, the aesthetics would be nice for my own father to walk me down the aisle. And I think that if they are decent people, they should have a conversation with the father.
So you mean the girl in question turning the man is biological father to ceremonial father?
I think so. That's what I feel. Yes, ceremonial father.
Resets the girl's brain. You see, the truth of life is that fatherhood is not based on contributing your
seed.
Your seed. That is not what makes you a father. Because you might have contributed to the birth of that child, but what makes you a father is the fact that you have groomed and grown that child. So I feel that that child is one, she's not wise, she's not grateful, she's not thinking right.
You're saying 2 different things, though.
No, the daughter.
Yes.
I will slap the daughter's brain. How can you? What are you doing today? Who is your father? The one you did not know, or the one that raised you? So except that there is something we are not aware of in that story.
No, you're saying different because I know you are supporting the girl.
I am not supporting the girl. I want to slap the girl. That the girl is not thinking straight.
Okay. So my side is that supports the girl, though.
No, I'm not asking.
Let me
be honest with you.
Where?
My hands are tied here.
Okay.
Because it happens to me.
Okay. So you disappeared?
And my family are watching. Yeah. So I have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
So, but you see, in that type of situation,
yes,
I think the girl in question
is close to home.
I can't blame her. I blame the mother.
Okay.
Number one, the mother supposed to ask her some questions.
Okay.
Because you are alive, health and sound, that's why you want to marry. To buy get my head for you, Juno. Oti domi gbóná lé lórí. Oti poison it. Oh, need opportunity that mash well. You see, you're wrong, baby. Ingrate, la man wrong. Honestly.
Wait, I'm confused.
Okay.
Ingrate in the sense that
somebody who raised you.
Now, if the mother and the child say, okay, let's table this matter before the father that took care of you.
Yes.
I may say, follow your heart.
Okay.
I would not like to. I would not like to dictate for the girl.
Okay.
But automatically, I don't even need to say before the girl
should know.
Should know
Right.
that I mean,
that you should
I've
really
spent all my life on you.
Yeah.
Time for me,
Yeah.
I mean, to enjoy.
Yes. So let me pause you for a second. I'll come to you, Virgil. Let me pause you. If you are the, for example, if you are the man that ran away, maybe because you didn't want to, not you wanted to run away, you just had to move on. You and the woman just could not get along, and you moved on with your life. You love your children, you love your daughter, but it just happened that you needed to get away. Okay. Now she comes to you and she's grown up, all grown up, beautiful girl, wants to get married, and you're happy to reconcile with her, and she wants to do you the honor of walking you down the aisle. Of walking you down the aisle. Would you now insist that no, go back to the man that took care of you? Or would you at least honor her and walk her down the aisle?
If I deserve it. And
Simple.
If I deserve it.
How would you determine if you deserve it?
You don't deserve it.
That
man does not deserve it.
Okay, Virgil, let me come to you.
I think that the daughter in question is an adult. And sometimes people do things not because of what has happened, but because of how they choose to move on, to move ahead. Now, whatever happened between her mother and the father is none of her business.
Awesome.
She was a victim of the circumstance.
Exactly.
Now, this good man, good Samaritan man, married the mother and took care of her. That's fantastic.
Okay.
And I know that as a good girl, she will forever remember the man. Walking down the aisle is really no big deal from what I see. It's just what you do in a day. It's ceremonial. There's nothing. This is a girl who may, when she has to take a decision to do certain things, she would definitely pick the man who has sacrificed for her. So I think the mother shouldn't invalidate her choice in this issue because she has decided for whatever reason, she could have just wanted to move on, forgive the man, let it go.
So you support the girl?
I support the girl because it's her choice at the end of the day. But I think she should have a choice. I think she should have a conversation. Don't judge. She should have a conversation with her mother and the stepfather and make them understand that I love you. You know, daddy, you are my daddy. You are the real daddy. But I want him to just walk me down the aisle for that day.
Good, but let me tell you, it has happened to me severally.
Okay. Which part did you play? The one that stood or the one that left?
The one that left.
Well, the one that always I took good care of my. I don't even separate my biological child, and shall you understand?
Yes.
I will ask you a question, baby. Do whatever that will make you happy. It's your day.
It's your day. Good.
Don't let me be. I won't be part of.
Making you unhappy.
Yes, making you unhappy. So far you're happy with your
choice.
But the mother has said that I won't follow you.
I will caution the woman. I will talk to the woman. I
need to say that in English. You know, like people would do something good and they will stick with it. They will remember, they will remind you forever for what they've done for you. So you can do good and let it go. So he's saying that the father, the man that nurtured that girl should be willing to say, we've done good for this girl. Let her make a decision by herself. But here's where I take another side that I feel that. Yes, because after slapping her, then we would ask her the question, why would you make this kind of decision? Because there might be part of the story that we're not aware of. Maybe the man abused her. Maybe the man did something to her. You could nurture someone money-wise and not... you were not. She still needed a father. She still knew you were not her father.
Let's not bring that angle to it. Let's not bring that angle to it.
If that is the case, but if it isn't, then the girl has... definitely has a problem. If you respect your mother, you will not do something that will hurt her like that.
If the mother respects...
The wedding is not for children. In Africa, Murayo, in Africa, wedding is not for you. The wedding day is for your parents.
I don't understand. My wedding was for me.
That's because that's you. Our wedding day is for our parents. Our parents, in my wedding, our guests at the wedding, most of them were my parents' friends and all of that. So it was for them to show that I have raised a good child. She's doing her wedding. I'm flaunting her. I'm sending her forth. Don't try yourself.
That's why the culture of dowry is dying. Dowry or no dowry, if you say, the culture of dowry is dying slowly. Sure, you understand? But to me, as a father, I will love my child from either way, biological or whatever.
Raised by you.
In the first place, I would love her to be happy.
Okay.
I will love her to enjoy her day. I will not be part of those that will spoil her day
So
for
let me
her.
come to you, Mariam. So on that day, for example, if she says, let's just peradventure, you are the father that abandoned her, for example.
This is your pastor.
So, example me. No. We are trying to help people out there.
Yeah.
So we're trying to use you as an example. For example,
If you ask me to advise,
no, so I'm saying that as a man right now,
Yes.
if, for example, if you're the person that left the child, would you stay at home while another man walks down and, in fact, even come to the wedding as a visitor while another man walks your daughter down the aisle?
honestly, I will call the man. If we can wear the same garment,
God bless you, sir.
change together.
Yes.
I will be there for the girl as I'm still his father.
But the other man will walk her down the
I
aisle.
don't mind.
Bros.
Sure, you understand? I don't, that's maturity.
That's maturity.
That's maturity,
So
actually.
Shina Peter just said what I was going to say, is that when decent people are involved in something, you find maturity like this. So there might be a conversation, and it will not be surprising to find out that the stepfather in his own right may say, you go ahead, be happy. But the mother might be the one insisting that this is not right. You know how women we can be, what is right and what is not right.
Let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, are you still there?
Yeah, Mariam.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. This station is very so good. I love this topic.
Okay.
Mariam, you see, I love the standard our mother took. Why? Because what makes you a father is that you bring a daughter or a son to this life. One, to provide for the son or a daughter or any son that at all. You brought all those children, taught them give them a good education, give them a good moral for them to triumph in this society. Now, a father that ran away for long period of time, from the age of 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years of those little girls. Now the girl has gone to the world. She's already made it with another father, Murayo. The father that took her up from 2 years old. He sent it to school, and then now you are becoming something, and then you want to get married. Now you are now remember that idiot. I'm sorry that you should come and take somebody priority in the day of your wedding. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
This father that ran away, he should be ashamed of himself. Even if his daughter come around and tell you that, my father, tomorrow is my wedding, I want you to attend that wedding. You should be able to tell that daughter that, come, go and meet that father. Because when you need me most, I ran away. So please, go and meet that father.
Okay,
so,
thank you very much, Yakub. Thank you very much.
That's a very funny one. I think the mother in this case is letting ego get in the way. You know, sometimes when you want to, it's family, it's blood, it's bond. When you want to sort out certain issues, you have to put your ego down. There's a natural bond that connects a parent, a biological parent, to the child, no matter what happens. I remember when, I'm going to give a bit of my personal story, when my mom came. And my father felt terrible.
Personal experience, laughing.
Yeah, so felt terrible that I was going to follow her to Lagos. She didn't understand why I didn't reject her from the door, why I didn't slam the door in her face, why I didn't do this and why I didn't do that. But there was something in me that said, give this person a chance, because I was not there when anything happened. So if she can calm down and let her ego down for a bit, she may be able to see reasons with the child.
I don't think it's ego, I think it's heartbreak.
And you know what? Apart from that, there are different ways that man can show his love for his daughter. It must not be that day. That particular day is a day to honor the father. Now that you're back in her life, to show her that you love her and you're sorry for all the things you've done to her, use another day. Be part of the process of the wedding.
Child education.
Yes. Go and arrange chairs or something. You know, but
she insists.
This is my take as the father now. When she comes and says, I want you to say, I don't deserve this. This man that has raised you deserve it. But I'll come for you and I'll represent you in any other way apart from
let me take this call. Hello, are you there? Let's take some tweets, please.
Yes,
hello, morning, sir.
Yeah, plenty.
Good morning. My name is Martin. I'm calling from Dublin.
Good to
There are
have you.
two parents involved here.
Yeah.
You're talking about the uninvolved and the influential parents. See, the mother and the uninvolved father probably had issues that the dead was later aware of. And the lady realizes that probably my mother may have done something wrong for this man to have abandoned us. And you need to look at what we call biological father. It has serious implication on a child. When in later years, she said, it was a different father that walked me to the eye. You know, it's not. I think what Shino Peter said about the two fathers wearing the same clothes just resolved the problem. Walking the person to the eye is a 3 to 5 minutes issue, and I think we should just give it to the girl to take a decision that will make her happy for life. That singular act of that day might result in something that will make the girl unhappy in her own marriage, because she's also going into a marriage, and that needs to be taken into consideration.
Thank you very much, sir. Could this be a slap on the face of the man that's worked all?
It is.
A slap on the face. It's almost as if everything I've invested in you meant nothing to you. Once you say your biological father, you just abandon me.
That don't go investment.
No. Travel abroad, education, moral values. You are there for the mother.
You are natural. It doesn't supposed to be investment. You are doing it. For good. Because you love the mother.
Yes. It's not you know, he's been in this situation. It's personal.
It's because of the love that you have for the mother.
Yes.
Not the,
Yeah.
So you won't say
you shouldn't expect anything in return.
But when you are the father and you want to be. I don't.
Okay,
so let
me tell you. You cannot even say what transpired between the mother and the runaway father.
Thank you.
Sure, you understand?
Yes.
That's number one.
We were not there.
Then number two, whatever we are doing, to me. That girl deserves to be happy.
On that
day.
On that day.
I'll go on a break. I have to go on a commercial break. Let me go on a commercial break. We're going to go deal with this issue of her being happy. Is her being happy, should it affect the happiness of her mother? Should her mother, should she not consider the fact that her mother sacrificed everything to get you to where you are? Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll take some few tweets. Yes, please. Mariam,
I totally believe this lady in question has been seeing her biological father behind her mother because this is abnormal. Billionaire says, a father is not a sperm donor. He's one that gave life to a child. So the girl should be called to question. Also, then Oluwatosin says, there are different sides to the story. At the end of the day, it should depend on the girl. I'm a product of a broken home, and personally, I don't want my father to walk me down the aisle. But my mom has been begging me to forgive him. I saw all that happen as I grew.
So he says, well, he laughs, And they say, if the biological father is a good person, I think he should beg his daughter to let the stepfather do it. But of course, what good man abandons his own kids? So you cannot...
Just one more. Wisdom demands that the man who brought her to this world should walk her in, and the man who raised her be recognized. The lady is not wrong. She only wants her parents to reconcile. If Nami be the second man, I no go bother. I no go. I won't bother myself.
Should the girl respect her mother's feelings in this situation? Let me tell you why. The mother's situation is not because she wants to create a problem. Is that when the thing happened, when the children were 2 and very young, the husband, the runaway father's family abandoned her. Nobody came to her help. She went to go and meet their family. Please, help me, I have 3 children. Nobody gave her 1 naira to raise these kids. They were all there, looking at her, laughing at her. Now, a new man came, raised these kids up for her. On their wedding day, obviously, her own biological father's family to be there. So it's the mother's way of showing that you guys abandoned me. But today I'm here. This man stood by me. He gave me everything. So is it fair on the mother that you are willing to throw all that away because you want your biological father to walk down the aisle. Doesn't make any sense, because at that moment, it's about your mother showing the world about her sacrifice, that she stayed, even though your biological father's family abandoned her.
You know, many times I've said on the show that raising your child is not an investment because you want to reap from that child. You do for your child your duty and know that God will reward you. However, when you have, as a child to a mother, your relationship is beyond, I want to give my mom money, I want to give my mom this. It's about that respect for her. And usually, even in Christendom, you don't get married without your parents' consent. They must agree to the wedding. So in the space of you trying to go into marriage, and marriage has enough issues without you coming with a backload of problems, you should endeavor to appeal to your mom, find a way to convince them before getting married. If you can't resolve the issue with your parents, then I don't even think you should be getting married. You should try and resolve that issue. Honestly.
Okay, let me take this call, then I'll come to you. Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead, please. Good morning.
You married defiantly.
To speak Yoruba, I beg.
She said she let us speak Yoruba.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Àǹtí Mọ́ráyọ̀.
Ṣé
rí ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ yìí, ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi gangan ni.
Okay.
Níbẹ̀ ń pa mí lẹ́kún. Èmi gangan ni mò ń tọ́jú ọmọ mẹ́rin fúnra mi tí ò sí bàbá wọn láti kékeré. So àwọn ọmọ mi mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni wọ́n mọ in and out yẹn. Ibi tí agbára mi mọ ni mo rán wọn ní school sí. Mi ò marry o, òun ti marry, ó ti marry. But ìgbà tó yá ọmọ ẹ̀ ọkùnrin ọ̀kan ni mo ní, wọ́n ní kí n jẹ́ kó máa pè. Ìgbà tá àmọ́ ibi tó wà, but ó ti ń pè ń sìn, ó ti ń pè, bó ṣe ń pè, à ń béèrè pé ń bo ló ń gbé, kò sọ fún wa. Ẹ wá sọ fún mi, nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣe gbogbo aláyẹ̀nsìn, kò rí ni o. Ṣé irú àwọn ọmọ yẹn tán bá wá dàgbà, tán bá mú irú iṣu yìí wá, wọ́n wá sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ wá bàbá yẹn lọ. Muslim ni mí. Alukurani ní pé ká tẹríba fọ́kọ wa, gbogbo ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe. Ìgbà táwọn ọmọ yẹn ò tí ì dàgbà, wọ́n ní kí ni mo ṣe fún dádì àwọn. But ìgbà tó ń dàgbà tán rí ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, wọ́n wò pé èmi kọ́ ni mo ṣe dádì àwọn. Nísìn dísìn kò tí ì yọjú dísìn. Owó oúnjẹ kò mú wá. Àwọn èèyàn ní kí n lọ sí human rights, but mò ń wo ọjọ́ ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ mi pé mi ì fẹ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Nítorí ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ mi ì fẹ́ mú. But mo feel it for long.
Thank you very much, Bintu.
Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ aṣoríire kò easy o, Àǹtí Mọ́ráyọ̀. Mo love yín ẹjọ́ o. Mo like bẹ́ẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹ́ wo mi lè sọ yẹ́rí pé mi lè sọ ìbú báyìí. Mo sì àgbẹ̀ káwọn ọmọ mi kàwé.
Thank you very much, Bintu.
Ọlọ́wọ́ bá yíwò wọn pọ̀ mà.
Bintu, quick interpretation. Bintu has 4 children. Okay. The 4 children, she was abandoned by her husband. Her husband has married many times. She didn't remarry. She said that she has just 1 son, and now they've compelled her to allow her former husband receive phone calls from, she and the son to start interacting, that she's still struggling to raise them. The man hasn't contributed anything. That imagine if this kind of thing happens, she wouldn't want this man to be involved in the man's life. That this is really, really personal for her. So this kind of woman, you will not say that you should care about your happiness when the woman has sacrificed her happiness.
Exactly. Let me come to you, sir. This woman just shared her story with us. So on that day of joy or day of celebration, you now say, say one man is on place, so please bring the man who wants to walk me down the aisle. Does that, is it fair on this, Bintu?
Don't forget that they are no more a minor.
They're no more children.
They're no more children. By right, you see, we should let them be. As a mother, you brought them to this world. Your duty is to take care of them. As a father, you brought them to this world. Your duty is to take good care of them.
Right.
Now, after 18, we should let them be. Because let me be honest with you. Even our Creator created us to be free.
So the children should be allowed to decide what they want. Okay, all right.
But what if the lady in question that says, okay, this is my biological father.
Yes.
After the
wedding.
ceremonial entry,
We're going.
You will say some lady will just go to the father, the father that took care of them.
Yes.
You know, if this is supposed to be a family thing.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay, let me take a few tweets first and I'll come to you.
Adedeji said, my dad has been away for 30 years and I have 2 sisters. The daughter is not an ingrate. It's a choice, yet it is painful. Aderubi says, being a father is more than just a title. The stepfather assumed the role of a father in her life for so long. He is more worthy to be called that, regardless of if he brought her into this world or not. Shola Staj says, okay.
I believe that, sometimes as parents, we tend to forget that the children have their lives to live, and the experiences we have, we want to impose it on the children. Now you've had a bitter experience in your marriage, and that is informing the decision you're making, not considering where the girl is coming from.
Bintu. I want you to talk to Bintu.
Exactly.
Because you are saying, so what should she do?
Exactly.
You're saying that this is the girl's choice.
Yeah.
What should Bintu do?
Bintu is the mother,
yes.
right? I think she should just give the child her blessing. Let her do what she wants to do for that day.
No, Mariah,
Yes,
there's
that's
something
what I
I've
think.
heard across everybody saying, when you grow up, then you're allowed to do. But I do not think, no matter how old a child is, you can never be too old for correction. You can never be too old for advice. You can never be too old to be guided right. And if you're making a bad decision, even if you're 100 years, your mother has the right to correct you if she did not know.
Right.
And then secondly, we need to be careful what we are letting these young men hear. They think that, I hear them, well, the child will look for me in future. You will have children everywhere, and then you abandon them, and then you say, the child will always look for the father. The children will stop looking for the fathers if you don't step up, because another man is taking care of them.
Look for the father. So there's nothing you can do about that.
You see,
That bond, you can't stop it.
You
There's
see,
nothing you can do about that.
You see, you these women, hot seats no more, are you? But I'm happy that, all my life, my cause is to fight for you. Give our women chance to.
Yeah.
Give our women chance to. You see, to be honest, the woman, the mother, she has all the right to tell her daughter that if you do this for me,
You honor me.
if you honor me, God will honor you. If you do contrary,
I leave it to God.
That is the thing. You cannot start marriage, your married life, that life,
I think we can
marriage
end on
space
this.
with something funny.
I think we can end on that
better.
note, sir.
Yes.
Shina Peters gave us that. Listen, as a mother, you can only appeal.
Appeal, oh.
If she applauds, she honors you, fine. If she doesn't want to, leave it to God. Leave it to God. I think let's go on the break. When we
You
come
won't say
back,
you won't attend the wedding.
we'll find out what Shina Peters is up to. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have with us Shina Peters. Oga, what is going on? What has happened with you? How has been life? Since you came back,
the show.
Everybody's talking to Shina Peters. Flying over the place. You're in London. You're in Canada. What is going on?
I'm working.
You're working.
When are you going to retire? See the way you think that.
After you shaved, you don't know that you're a baba. Look at everything, it's clean shaved. Nobody get you're 40 years old.
Asiko, how are you today? Honestly, I've been working.
Right.
But let me start from.
Yeah.
You ask about my project.
Yes. What are you working? Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking where the government will put some working conditions.
Okay.
That there's no way you can take 365 days to be working without at least minimum of 2 weeks to go and rest, give your retreat, refresh. Even the phone that we are using, sometimes my freeze and say off it and on it. That's why you see people, in banking sector, accounting sector, for them to write something, they will just be looking
tired.
because they're tired.
Yes.
So I said to myself that we have to do something.
Okay.
Because about 10, 15 friends of mine.
Yes.
They will go to abroad for medical checkup.
Yes.
And the same thing is blood pressure.
High blood pressure. So
why high blood pressure? And there's no way you will not have it.
Okay.
With the
Condition
stress.
of the country.
So what do you want to do about that, sir?
Now, I want to be taking people under You Fit Fly. You Fit Fly company is a packaging company. I want to be taking people to Kenya holiday resort, Dubai,
To rest, to relax.
To relax.
Oh, wow. Really?
With their family. Some of women, some of us, we don't take our wives out or our kids.
Oh, really? So you want to start going to travel and tours company now?
Yes.
You're not singing again?
I'm singing. I'm singing.
It's just a side gig.
No. Okay. This one is
On the side.
is paid back time.
Oh.
So this is free?
Yeah. It's,
They pay back
it's
then.
token. It's not free. Okay. It's for token. So you understand? And we are going to Kenya. We are starting the journey from 6 to 13. We are going to Kenya, from Kenya to Dubai, from Dubai to Oman.
Oh, so it's like a tour.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you will have privilege of talking to Shino Peters one-on-one, dining with Shino Peters one-on-one, enjoying Shino Peters one-on-one,
And then
taking selfie, taking pictures with
Are you
Shino
for
Peters.
real? When? When is this again?
6th
of June.
6th of June.
Oh, wow.
Till 13.
So how
just
do you
go on a
register? Whoever is interested?
You can get us on that.
No. We can't do that.
I know you were.
Don't worry. But it's just good to know that we'll tell people.
And on Twitter. And
Yes.
We'll check on our own individual Instagram pages. We'll talk about it, but we can't share it on TV because we'll get in trouble. They'll bill us.
Okay.
So we can't.
Me too, I will bill you.
No problem. But
So honestly,
that's fantastic, though.
Let's have that culture
of resting.
Let's have that culture, honestly. Cost 365, take 2 weeks.
But it's interesting you're saying that because when you see on Twitter, always dancing all over the place. Obviously, you rest.
Yes.
You have energy.
Yes.
So people should take a cue from you.
Honestly, and that will make you look younger and younger. So
Fresher. We can see,
you
sir.
cannot see.
What about the music? What's happening in the music scene?
My music world is bam. Bam.
They're still traveling you. They're still taking you around the world.
You know, I'm more into corporate music than Tiwa Lagu.
Yeah. That's good.
You know, so
how many times do you travel in a year? That's a hard question to answer. How old are you now? But can we ask you how old you are now?
61.
Wow.
You don't look it.
Good.
Thank you.
You could pass for 40, man.
Yeah. It really looks good.
So tell us more about, you're going to say something?
No, just for government. You see, I want this thing to start from the government.
Yeah.
That the working condition, whether you like it or not, you must leave the office for 2 weeks and refresh your brain.
But they give leave now.
People take leave.
Like,
look, this one
I get what you're saying.
leaves.
And there's leave allowance.
You must tell government that, okay, these 2 weeks,
you spent it doing something
good.
Okay, when
and
you
you're
come
actually
back.
doing a vacation. Yeah. There has to be something, not just for you to go and leave.
Something that you use your leave for
work. They are hustling.
Yes.
I get the point. So you are campaigning for the government to ensure that people actually utilize their leave for vacation. And you want to help us champion that.
It's nicely
and that's
timed.
why we started You Fit Fly. Okay. You Fit Fly is...
You Fit Fly. Yeah. Oh, that's the name of your... Oh, wow.
You
don't do. Okay, you finish.
Yeah,
advertising on our show, please. Okay? You can't pay for that one. We don't give you all the details, but it's good to know that you're doing other things aside from music.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your new project, and we hope that it's successful.
Amen.
And we'll definitely tell our viewers about it on our Instagram pages and Facebook pages.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
I'm gonna get you fine, yeah, baby.